Laverne and I whittled this down to 20 minutes. You know, I want to thank the board members of the Family Resource Center for thinking of me. I want to say that anything that any of us do in this community, we don't ever do it alone. And these women who I love so much, neither of whom are here tonight for various reasons, but we're always part of that. But I have to say that without a husband like I have, who has supported all the crazy stuff, like, you know, John was at the airport the day that we left with 11 kids to go to Rwanda on a whim, and he said, "You guys are really brave." And we're like, "What's he talking about?" On the way back on the plane, we were high-fiving. Nobody got hurt, as far as we know, nobody got pregnant. When I got involved with the Peace Initiative, Laverne and I were working with a group of people, the Alternatives to Violence Project, and they told me about a book called Cultivating Peace by James O'Dea. James O'Dea was the head of Amnesty International for 13 years. I've read that book probably 20 times. I've given it to people. It's one of the most amazing things about peace that I've ever read. And one of the things that he said that was so important to me, that were two that really rang true, was peace is not passive. And peacemakers, who I had intended to quote in the original speech that I wrote, which I ripped up after getting a call this morning, which I'll tell you about in a minute, were not passive. And I got these names from a postcard that my friend Mario Picayo sent to me, that he had picked up at the Nobel Institute in Oslo. And these are not passive people. Nelson Mandela, the Dalai Lama, Elie Wiesel, who I had the pleasure of meeting here many years ago, because this is such an amazing community. Jimmy Carter, Desmond Tutu, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. Not a lot of passivity there. So two things happened today. The first one is I got a call from Laverne this morning, and the second one is I went for a long walk. The first one, when Laverne called me, she said she had to tell me something that happened. She had gone to Kmart this morning to buy toilet paper. She said, and she told me I could tell you that. She saw two young men in line who were clearly suffering from the trauma of their own lives. One held a towel to his mouth, she said, to maybe cover up some missing teeth or perhaps a bloody mouth from a fight he might have been in. They stood in line with a few necessities of life in their car. They were nervous, and the people around them were nervous. They were watching them, even putting space between themselves and these boys because the boys looked like trouble. In their car was deodorant, toothpaste, maybe their own toilet paper. Laverne decided that she would pay for these items, and she did. Choking up over the phone this morning, she said to me, "I thought they were going to cry." She wanted me to say for her that these are the acts that make a difference. These are the things that each of us can do every day in one way or another, sometimes just smiling at somebody who you don't know or who doesn't look like you. And then there's the walk. The other thing that James O'Dea said that really rang true for me personally is peacemakers spend a lot of time taking care of themselves. And so I decided to take a long walk. And so I walked out Topeka Point, looking over the beautiful place that I've been able to call home for half of my life, and thinking about truth, because the saying is truth is beauty. I've learned truth from the peacemakers that I mentioned and the peacemakers in this community. And one of the things that I've learned and that I know and that I believe, it's not even a belief, I know that it's true. We were put here for one purpose, and that's to serve. And there's plenty to do. I came to that conclusion about service through a deadly disease that once threatened my life, the cure for which is truth, God, and service. Truth is not relative, as those with something to gain from dishonesty would tell you. There are only a handful of universal truths, and when you think truth, think Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, or my spiritual guide, Satchidananda, who some of you may have known personally. He says that if we have been given life, we've been given another chance, as I have been, and second chances and third and all of that. It's for one reason only. We have something to offer someone else. Sometimes it's to buy their deodorant. Sometimes to do some things that Paul or I have done. We all have our own path, and it's simple or it's complicated or it's easy or it's hard, but it's the thing we're here to do. So for a bit more truth, I am not only not passive, sometimes I am combative. I swear a lot. I am wrong probably as often as I am right, and that's because I hold opinions at times far too close to my heart. In fact, I told a friend who writes for us, Frank Schneider, some of you may know, that I was being honored. He said, "You deserve it." Asking for what? I said, "Peacemaker." He said, "Well, maybe not." I have to say, when Bernie called me, I was a little surprised too. But I remember O.D., who even in his position at the helm of Amnesty International, understood we sometimes have to fight for people. We even have to go to war in order to prevent others from harming them. We have to protect those who are unprotected. That's what the Family Resource Center does, day in, day out, 24/7, 7 days a week, without stopping, without giving up. And I will say, when I did that big 6-week Victim Advocates program, some of you may remember Lynn Falkenthal and Joey Donnell was one of the people who started it. I went back to the States after that for a couple of years, and I went to a volunteer place at a women's shelter to volunteer, and I met this woman, and she said, "I think you need to work out your own problems." So that wasn't the road that took me, but it would be false humility for me to pretend that I haven't worked hard in the interest of improving the lives of people here and elsewhere. But I've done it because it has made me happy and given me a meaningful life. It has indeed saved my life. So while I'm so touched to be honored by this community that I love and am so grateful to be part of, I serve because I see nothing else worth doing, really. I tried a life of selfishness once, and it didn't make me happy for more than about 20 minutes. More than once, but... So in the end, I'm selfish. There's nothing that has ever felt as good as helping. I hope I will continue to live up to the expectations that you have placed on me with this acknowledgement. Thank you.